welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and total nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. Previously, the Cupcake Coterie entered the so-called Ice Maze, and in order to basically pull something out of it to bring to Demille, to Vievaled, the governor of that, the one actual proper city in the frozen wastes of Ambach. After a couple of weeks' travel with the people on various hunts and the like, and a brief side trip to the Moscow settlement of Bergtown, which was literally a town on an iceberg, which was lots of fun for various people. Froseth can now breathe underwater. He is now fully amphibious as far as that goes. Clarity made friends with a homicidal panda dolphin.
Tried.
Orcas are dicks.
Blasphemous Oreo fish.
They are not fish. Don't even start.
No, they're not.
Don't
But
even
I'm
start.
mislabeling on purpose.
Yes, but at least keep it in the mammals. I've heard too many people do that. I used to actually study marine zoology, so don't do that to me.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Anyway, they got through bits of the maze fairly handily. Froseth managed to be his usual reticent self on the introductions and got most of y'all kind of frozed. That got settled, at least, and then there were the Yetis, and that was pretty good as far as that went. And then the riddles happened, and Remy kinda... The reason water didn't work was that water's not some people's daily beverage, it's everybody's daily beverage. So, yeah. Anyway, so Remy was going to have to face an entirely different challenge. Alice knew where to stop with the no. Ava didn't. So, as she is fairly smart, she will probably realize specifically punishment for her. She got banished briefly so that conversation could happen without her being there. Remy went to face her own challenge, and Alice got pooted nobody knows where. And then you were ushered into, if you check out the map, a little anteroom to wait. I did put the players there, yes. But yes, what you have is... the whole thing seems to be made of white and blue ice with... those are supposed to be fountains, but the water's not moving. It's just frozen in fountain configuration and blue ice benches along the walls and by the fountains, so that you guys have been ushered into there with Remy and Alice just puffed to wherever they got puffed to. And I will give you guys a few moments to deal with that, as Ava has, returned from empty nether plane and been nudged, if I recall correctly, into the room before she could say anything else.
And there was the announcement of, they're facing their own thing, wait. And at that point, Darwin literally just found the nearest bench and just stock still, just completely, nope, not moving.
Nearest bench would probably be over there.
Well, I'm not seeing a
statue to wait, Darwin.
Yeah, it blends into the color, but you'd know there was a bench there. If you look, you'll see lighter patterns sort of there.
I'm not seeing us on the map.
Well, there's not you on the map. I haven't put you on the map.
Oh, my bad. I couldn't see where you were clicking then.
Nothing has happened yet. Down, but you'd have come in through the bottom, so about there. If you scroll out or down or something.
These are
Oh, there we go.
benches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
that I knew.
but going down the page, there's also some there. Yes.
Thank you. It wasn't showing me your
Yeah, you were too far
stripes.
up or in
Probably
or something. I don't know.
nothing.
But
Anyway, all set.
yeah, so Darvin plunk on bench 2-8. So I will, because this does take a little while.
Darvin, you don't need to imitate a statue to wait.
Okay. Seemed like the safest course of action.
Clarity is just sort of nervously pacing.
Yeah, it was sitting, but she's like wringing her hands and fidgeting and feeling very silly.
Looking from one nervous person to the next nervous person to the next nervous person. Darvin's
Look, I trust
fine.
Alice and Remy to be able to get through whatever it is they're getting through. I just don't want to do anything to make anything worse at this point.
Yeah. So I'm looking to Darvin, thinking, okay, Darvin's fine. In clarity, yeah, the pacing's normal. I'll smoosh the bejesus out of her later. And like looking at Ava, and she's wringing her hands and having a meltdown again. Okay. Wandering over and sitting down next to Ava.
You have a Hazel.
So,
What?
what are you fretting about?
What do you think? Probably made things 100 times worse than needed. And who knows what the others are being put through this time.
It's a challenge. They're always
The Archfey thing was supposed to be challenges, wasn't it? Look at
the
that then.
Archfey thing was an Archfey thing. Archfey are not gods. Archfey are not
Better or
set forth
worse.
by gods. So in this case, it really is just wait and see instead of try to circumvent the plan.
Hazel,
I guess so.
you of the about half of you have met this kind of sphinx before, and Hazel being one of them, and Darvin not saying anything. Froseth is doing his own thing, but Hazel doing the talking. Hazel will know where Ava does not. That okay, probably doesn't know it in these exact terms, but sphinxes are lawful of that type are lawful good. They're not going to be punishing the way a more chaotic neutral, chaotic evil, chaotic whatever an archfey might be. There are rules. Remy did not do a thing, so rules say she had to do a thing. And rules also said that Ava's going too far had to be dealt with, and to be fair, a Gynosphinx is smart enough to know that putting Ava through anything isn't appropriate punishment.
So, right. On the topic of that kind of a plan from the gods and the like, the gods, at least the ones that don't or didn't have anything to do with tempting humanity or starting shit like our five-colored opposition, tend to have rules. That particular kind of sphinx also is all about following a set of rules. Kind of like Remy and her whole oath to, well, in this case, two separate entities, but still.
Yeah, Barnabas knows about this one. He's got rules.
Mhm.
And, honestly, probably one of the best people to ask for examples of this kind of rule following would be Barnabas, because much as I follow my faith, I appreciate the wiggle room Paylor allows me.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wiggle room with this sort of thing, and it's only because I'm intimately familiar with this kind of sphinx and what they do that I'm not freaking the hell out or trying to start a fight. It's I guess the correct word would be stickler for what they do and how they act. They're not going to be punishing them in the way of how to put it. It's going to test them. It's not going to kill them.
They'll play
Gen-
fair. Is what
They
you-
play fair, exactly.
Oh, that's something, I guess.
Yeah, this is not those archfey. Them. There are rules. Very apparently as deep as the multiverse rules. So we can cut. All we got to do is wait it out.
I guess so. Thanks, guys.
We wait for the party to come to us, given we are the party.
I know how you feel, though. I mean, I don't blame you for how you acted. I don't like people I care about being whisked away and not being
Yeah,
able to do
exactly.
anything about it.
I mean, maybe I was too hasty, but it really felt like that's what Sphinx wanted to do, and I was not having that.
I'm going to head over to Clarity, cover by the shoulders, and proceed to just smooch the Jesus out of her on the spot.
Yeah, that's okay. That's gonna be a thing. 'Cause, now I'm gonna start putting people in their respective spots. So Darwin was poised over there. Actually, no. Hang on.
Mm.
I want tokens.
You okay, Smeagol?
There we go. Yeah, Darwin was pointed over there. Clarity would have been pacing more space for pacing around here or so,
Looks good.
which means Hazel is sort of there, smooching the bejesus. Ava, well, given
Probably on one of those benches near them.
yeah, so we'll say that one over there.
That's fine.
Froseth?
Froseth would probably be like in front of the fountain, like behind Ava there.
So, boink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better because we've got that thing in the way. And Barnabas?
Probably on the bench across from Darwin.
Point.
Yep.
Okay. That's around about the point when the door isn't so much opened as somebody shoulder blocks it open, which is immediately followed by Remy getting kind of yeeted in that general direction.
Remy can fly.
as quickly as she can manage, and then warps her
Well,
armor back on,
Yeah, it's
fumbling back in the direction of the door.
yeah. Alice is directly behind her, moving in what one might only refer to as something of a rush, and flying quite obviously. Just basically, she shoulder blocked the door open, yeeted Remy inside, and then followed, going, ranged, we really want ranged, or fire resistance, either or. At which point...
Oh, oh God.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
This bursts
Oh
through the door.
God! What the hell is that?
Holy!
Big.
That,
What the hell is that? That's horrible.
that,
Oh.
Lot of legs.
that,
Exactly. Thank you.
that is a Remorhaz, and all things
Ugh.
considered, I'm sorry, it gets an attack round, and there's lots and lots of you to choose from.
Oh.
It's big. It's
Mhm.
It's very
clearly flaming from what Alice said,
that's the
and
thing.
hungry.
It doesn't seem to be flaming, but it's certainly giving off steam, and you can see where some of its the horn carapace protuberances have gouged, burned lines into the door frame.
Mm.
So let's see.
It is the very essence of toasty.
Yes, and eeny, meeny, miny. Okay.
There's a lot of people right next to it.
Yeah, that's
It's
where
a little clump.
I you gave me the approximates here. So let me think. 1 and 2 is Barnabas, 3 and 4 is Darwin, 5 and 6 is Alice, and 7 and 8 is Remy. Barnabas, what's your AC? Barnabas. Your AC.
Sorry, cut out with the name, so it's like, did you say me or hang on?
Yep.
And
Is it-
AC?
Is it 23 or higher?
No.
Oh, Christ.
It's a plus 11 to hit.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yikes.
Oh, the 17 is not looking good right now.
Ooh, no.
That's annoying.
Yeah, basically this thing crams through the wall.
Full on Kool-Aid Man's, except boiling.
Well, door, really. Door sort of swang shut, and then poof. Turns around, sees tasty treat, and chomp.
Oh no.
I'm just trying to figure out what's... Yeah, you can't do that yet on a surprise attack. But you're grappled until you reach your turn where you can escape or attempt to anyway. You ain't going no place.
Gotcha.
Also, I should deal with damage, really, shouldn't I? Yeah, no, I had not quite forgotten about that. I'm gonna have to, because I have the bag.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
I
Uh-oh.
do need more dice, though.
We'd love to hear that.
No, I mean in general. I just
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
well, I mean in specific too, because this is 60 10 plus. Where are my d10s? I have a lot of d10s. I used to play WAD, so I have a lot of d10s. Easy to read.
But when the GM is rolling damage and it sounds like it's someone rolling in Shadowrun, not good.
Mhm.
3, 4. Actually, that one's not so easy to read.
That sounds like a lot of clickety-clackety math rocks.
Yeah.
So,
Math rocks of pain.
Mhm.
that sounds like a nerd metal band.
I mean, that is a cool name.
Nerd death metal. Why not?
Sure.
I mean,
If you're doing death metal, right, most people don't know what the hell you're saying anyway, so meh.
10, 22, 29 piercing damage.
Ow.
And this is I don't need as many math rocks this time. And 13 points of fire damage halved, if I remember correctly, because you have that tattoo.
But I haven't activated it yet. I got to activate it before I get the shield that gives me the fire resist. So I think it's straight 13 more.
Okay. I would have happily been generous, but okay, yeah. So chomp. Alice starts swearing, probably in Celestial, because she does not like this. She does not like this one tiny little bit. And I would now like you all to roll initiative.
Yarp, one of our melee.
That's fitting. That's fitting for me in this situation.
I'll take it.
It says 21, but it's red on my screen, I think.
Yeah, that's because
Yep,
that's because remember we had this conversation last time. That's
Yeah.
how Antheus figured out that it was still rolling your advantage. So
Right.
that's your advantage roll. So 21 is the one you got, but it still means that at some point you rolled
Gotcha. I know that we had that conversation. I just hadn't realized I hadn't seen it look red like that before. So
yes, you had.
I
Yes, you had.
my bad.
You've just forgotten again. That's
Okay,
okay.
well,
Shit happens. Yeah. Okay.
I'll shut up now.
Yes, right. And okay, so that's 19. So Darvin, Hazel. God, 3 of you were at 17. I'm gonna say that Froseth goes next, just because Monk is kind of his thing. Followed by Clarity, because her dex is higher. Then Remy.
Question. I got a 20.
Yeah, I'm working my way down the list.
Ah, okay. So you did mine silently. I didn't even see that.
You wouldn't have seen it because I have a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was you writing. Shutting up.
Thank you. Okay, that's everybody, and the Remorhaz Darvin.
Okay. Realizing ranged is a thing that Alice was screaming for. Darvin will start by backing along the benches as best as like along that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where you can go. You're flattened up against the wall, but yep.
And just makes a weird bundle of noises that just sounds like audible chaos and is casting Chaos Bolt, which I have a clicky for. So let me bounce back over to that page because I was looking at the spells to see what I wanted to do. Anyway, Chaos Bolt, clicking. And then okay, you beat me to it. I was about to click the show spell description link that was on the thing, but you beat me to it. Of course, I get a 3 on the damage type. God damn it.
Yeah, you hit. It does no damage.
Damn it.
None. Zip. 0. Silch.
Yep.
It is completely immune to fire.
Of course it is.
That's delightful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you see a fire bolt of fire just, and Darwin's just
At which point
of
Elsie's
all
like,
the
no!
ones it could have been, yeah, of all the ones it could have been, why?
Yeah, okay.
Reading the description, you choose one of the d8s for the damage type, and all that is added together for damage.
Well, he's picked fire.
Yes,
It did-
just for future.
3. So
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah, yeah, choose one of the d8s. So he picked the 3 apparently. He panicked.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
You're just going to say, it's like, did you just have Alice say, so swearing in Celestial is melodic as fuck. Hazel.
Well, this rapidly descended into chaos in all of under 6 seconds. So Barnabas is in that thing's grip, so to look around, just look directly at him, and first I'm going to upcast Healing Word to 5th.
Okay.
Because I saw him just get straight up chomped on. Barnabas, no going down the hatch. And since I've cast a 5th level, Disciple adds another 7 to the 18 there.
So 25. And Healing Word is a bonus action, so.
And then I'm going to look at this great thing with too many legs and Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Thank the gods, it's just a cantrip. DC 15 throw.
Just making sure that it's. Yeah, it's radiant damage, so that's spell save DC 15.
Looking the sun hopefully does something.
And it's an or, isn't it? It's a save or suck.
Yep.
Somehow little legs managed to pitter patter it out of the way.
Nerds.
Yeah. At which point it's going to swallow Barnabas.
Oh.
I said not down there.
You are blinded and restrained.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check restrained here. Yeah, your speed becomes 0. You cannot benefit from any bonuses to speeds. Attack rolls against a creature have advantage, and the creature's attack roll that means you have disadvantage on attack rolls. It has advantage on attack rolls towards you, but you're in it now, and you have disadvantage on dex saving throws. So let me have a quick look at this. Well, at the start of each of the Remorhaz turns, so you're not there yet. However, the swallow does mean that it's no longer grappling Barnabas. Yep.
Great.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Yeah. And it's going to. Why now? Yeah, it's decided that it has a 10-foot reach, you see.
Oh no.
Mhm.
And there was shiny from over there. And that's a nat 20 on
Oh no.
an attack on, and that would be Hazel. So that's I need more space to roll the shiny math rocks. Oh, that's not very nice at all.
Oh
9,
no.
18,
Oh, how bushwhacked is the healer?
27, 30, 33, 36, and that's double the dice.
Oh god.
So 36,
72.
yeah, 72
Oh god.
plus.
Oh no.
How many hit points do you have, Hazel?
Please no plus. No more plus.
22,
Well, it's already knocked me unconscious with
20
this,
22
so
points of fire damage. So that's 94. What's your total HP?
total HP is 78.
Thank goodness you are not immediately killed, but you are unconscious in this thing's maw.
Of course, it goes with the healer first.
No, it didn't go for the healer first. It went for the healer second. It went for the beefcake first.
It's surprise rounded beefcake. It went for the healer first in normal combat.
Still, Barnabas, it is your turn.
Okay. What kind of? It doesn't say on the character sheet what kind of action is to activate that shield.
It should. I didn't write it on your thing. I'm just going to say you did the thing because I don't have time to look it up right now.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, currently your problem is more acid damage if you're
Yeah.
still in there at the next turn. So, but I will give at this point I will give bonus action to activate it because you're struggling, but you're still pretty. Basically, you're in it and it's slimy and you hurt.
Mm-hmm. And I'm blinded, you said, so I can't see anything.
You can't see worth shit.
Okay. Seeing something is required to use the echo teleport out of here things.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
So it's cut my way out is literally the only option at this point.
Oh, let me double check a thing. If the Remorhaz takes 30 damage or more on a single turn from a creature inside it, the Remorhaz must succeed on a 15 Constitution saving throw at the end of that turn, or regurgitate all swallowed creatures.
Oh.
So
Okay.
if you can
make it vomit.
Yeah, if you can hit it for 30 damage in a single turn.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, you are rolling at disadvantage.
Mm.
And its to hit is its armor class is 17.
17
Too
at
bad.
disadvantage. Okay. Also, I'm going to action surge to attack like 3 times here, just not dealing with this nonsense.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Attack number 1.
Roll damage.
Nice.
That's 7. Okay.
Attack number 2.
Roll damage.
All right. And attack number 3.
Roll damage.
Jesus. Look at
There
your
we go.
rolls.
I don't think I hit 30 though.
No, you got 26. So that's. It's not looking
Close.
overly happy, but it's.
Does it count as being swallowed by it? Does it count because the shield does damage if you melee attack me? 2d8 cold damage in this case. Would
That
it be taking that now as well?
no, because among other reasons, you need to be able to swing the shield, and I don't think there's a way to roll with that. And anyway, it doesn't matter because it's also immune to cold damage.
Oh,
Ah.
even better. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Alice is a little less than impressed right now. What is Alice going to do at this stage? Gimme. To wisdom saving throw. Okay. Yeah. What's its whiz? Good. Good. Okay, that's hopeful. Action. Yes. Yeah. Critter is confused. Basically, it's interesting and somewhat discombobulating swirl of the blades, and let's see, behavior die. Yeah, it is not moving or taking actions until the end of Alice's next turn. At which point, Alice, let's see, what do I have for spell slots right now? I've got some third. I've got some third levels, so I can. Healing word upcast to third level on Barnabas. So that's 1, 2, 3, and I need another d4. Where are my d4s? There are my d4s. Could actually get one that's easy to read. Thank you. Actually, no, because that's third level, so I don't need the. Bingo. Good, so that's 5, 9. Plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is 4. Which is 4. So that's 9, 13 points of healing for Barnabas. So yeah, Remorhaz not moving, so not going to be swallowing Hazel down with Barnabas.
That's good.
Until Alice, the end of Alice's next turn anyway. It's good she goes so soon after him, so that's good. Froseth.
Let's see.
I guess I should probably
Is,
move Hazel sort of more over here because she's in its mouth anyway.
Okay.
Because it's just lean, choomp, whoop.
Yes, I'm unconscious, and it's basically got its entire face around me, leaning forward with its ridiculous reach.
Well, no, because it would have moved you back into its effective spot, which is why I moved you over here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Because it really would have just done the cobra thing. Whoop.
So I'm like somewhere up here.
Yeah, legs dangling.
Okay, I'm going to start out with just water whip on it.
Okay.
It's bonus action.
Remind me.
Which
That's a problem with me not running combat as often as most DMs.
Yeah.
Cause,
it's
dexterity save 15.
dex save. And going to pull it prone as opposed to pulling it towards me. If it fails.
It fails. Barnabas feels kind of thump. Unfortunately, it not being able to move is not going to save you from the acid damage on its next turn.
Yeah.
And
then
that was your bonus action, so
yeah, I'll move up and take some swings with the sword.
Okay.
One.
Roll damage. And take 7 points of fire damage.
Ooh.
I told you! And
Yep.
Looking at the surprised look on his face, Alastasia's, I told you! So, okay, hang on. That's 15, so... Okay.
Oh, still gonna take another swing. Another 21.
And that's 11 points of fire damage. You've taken a nasty chunk out of its health, but although given the sheer amount of damage, I'm going to be nice, particularly given that it's prone and getting wailed on. What is its con anyway? Its con is +5.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna roll it. I'm
It's
gonna roll it anyway because you never know.
Good roll of 1.
it's not smart. It's punchy.
Rolled a 3. So unconscious Hazel and badly chomped and mauled. This is unfortunate. I'm not gonna have it take both the death saves, but given that Barnabas lands directly on top of Hazel,
I get spat out,
yeah.
and he gets horked up, and it hits me on the way out.
Yep. So basically, actually, I'm gonna swap you guys around. So there and there, and yeah. I'm not gonna bother with the rolls. That's just you failed a death save because a 6.5-foot tall minotaur landed on top of you.
Ow.
Yeah. You do notice now that you can see, although you're slightly flash blind, that you didn't land on quite the hard, lumpy bench that you expect. Oh shit, that's Hazel.
Oh no.
Yeah, one very unconscious Hazel.
Clarity.
Man, my plans have gone all over the place.
Right?
As they do.
Right?
I was like, oh, no, can't do that. Oh, maybe now I can. So Clarity is gonna edge around this way to try to get next to Hazel.
Yep.
And is feeding a potion of
It's an action.
An action. Okay, I'm gonna feed her a greater health potion.
Okay. Roll for that. I believe that's 4d4 plus 4. It says something about the combat, so we do actually get into that. I've memorized the greater healing potion.
Nice.
4, 4, 4,
17.
1.
Oh,
Nice.
Hey, that's a nice roll.
Yeah, but
It was
it's just
flattered.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And as my bonus action, I'm gonna cast Hex on it.
Okay. Remind me.
It is. Oh, what's it now? So it'll take an extra 1d6 when I hit it with an attack of necrotic damage, and also it has disadvantage. I'm gonna say on strength ability checks.
Yeah, that doesn't count as attacks. You know that, right?
Huh?
It doesn't count
No,
as
I know.
attacks.
No, I know.
And-
But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, none
just
none
in
of
case.
yeah, none of its abilities or anything, and it doesn't count with saves. So I've never entirely understood that one. It's usually better used, I think, for intelligent enemies. But anyway,
Yeah. But the 1d6
Yeah, but that's
helps.
good.
So
yeah, the 1d6 helps.
sense.
I'm just yeah. Anyway, Remy.
Spell design.
Okay. Do bonus action. Vow of Enmity.
Okay.
And she starts swinging.
Oh boy. Roll damage and take 11 points of fire damage.
Oh. And one more.
Tie goes to defender. That misses.
Okay, and she also has protection for Alice and Froseth.
Well, or more to the point, or.
Yeah, whoever
Yep. Okay.
might be hit.
Ava.
I think going a million miles a minute. It was panic seeing Hazel get chomped. She's being housed. Okay, she's alive for now. Fire. That's not good. Hand shaking a bit. She's like,
Well,
did
you,
we
to
say
be
the
fair,
pills for...
yeah, but to be fair, it's not fire, it's heat.
Right, it's just
It's
little
just-
flames.
Well, that's the thing. It looks, the pattern on its back is not flames.
Mhm.
Looks like flames, kind of, but
Okay.
it's,
So it's not real fire.
yeah, fire doesn't just because it does fire damage doesn't necessarily mean it's on fire.
Okay, so she's like, okay, just pulled out her rifle and like fires. First shot. Slight panic. Axes.
To be fair, there's this big clump of people in your.
Yeah.
entirely
Yeah,
sure
yeah. I
they're-
forgot to ask: can she hit reasonably?
So
Is it big enough that she can?
she could, but she's panicking right now because
Just a little
people
bit.
are. Second attack. Roll damage.
22. Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Click, click, boom.
it's not looking very well. Darvin.
Okay. That's not gonna work. Okay. Want to stay ranged because he's watching everybody else going, ow! Like swing, ow! Swing, ow! It's like, yeah, no, don't want any of that. I'm just screw it. Hopefully, no fire this time. And
Mm.
Which are you
it's
picking, the
5,
9 or
4,
the 2?
or oh,
One of the two d8s, so 5 or 4.
yeah, that's why I was confused. Thank you. That's what I thought.
Well, no, because 9 or 2, that's the 2.
No, that's 2d8s or the 9.
Oh, I
Mouse
see.
over that.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. I'm hovering over it, and
It's
I'm seeing
combining the num.
Aha.
yeah, which is a little confusing. Let me hang on. Let me do that. I'll do the 4. That'll be force damage.
Okay.
So then I click on.
Well, it's the 2d8, so it's rolled the 2d8 and the 1d6 already. That's what those are. See, 1d6.
Oh,
So
Mhm.
it's the damage is 11.
gotcha.
It's
Okay.
just of those. This was designed. This spell was designed for math rocks. So you have to scroll over to see what the math rocks would have said. So that's
My bad. Thank you very much.
okay. Bonus action.
Bonus action on uh Alice, say, keep swinging, kick its ass. I can't think of anything that rhymes with freaking Remorhaz. Close enough. It's an expression die.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Hazel.
1. Ow!
That's fair. That's fair.
2. I get up from being prone.
Yeah, because you are both prone, so that's off your movement. Then again, if you get out of movement, if you get out of range, it has an attack of opportunity anyway. So
Looking around.
actually, that's a fair point. Darvin should have had one of those.
Oh no.
We'll deal with it some other time. His mouth was full.
Seeing,
I mean, it was chomping
okay,
on
I'm gonna look
bananas,
around.
so-
Who do I see? I see that everyone in immediate range of this thing is looking a little scuffled.
Weirdly, except for Alice. For once, she has not got out. She has, however, kept it from moving.
Right? Can we avoid getting eaten for 1 freaking month? And I'm upcasting mass healing word to 4th level
Okay.
to get everyone who's been damaged. So it's myself, Barnabas, Froseth, and
And
I'm
I'm
actually
guessing.
surprisingly okay for someone who was swallowed.
Don't care, hitting everyone in
and-
range.
Yeah, and Hazel, when Hazel's saying that, Alice is like, "You're welcome."
Oh no.
Oh.
But there's additions, so that's 10 plus your Disciple of Life bonus, which is 5. You said.
No, Disciple of Life bonus is 2 plus the spell's level, so
6.
6.
so this is
16.
6. This is another 6.
So 16.
Not bad.
Still more than you had.
Okay.
And since that was once again a bonus action spell, I'm going to attempt to Sacred Flame this thing.
Okay. That's Dex 15. Oh, come on. Nope. It's doing that kind of weaving and what the fuck is going on now? And it's like that stupid fucking thing made out of the black shit all over again.
Too wiggly. Too wiggly. Can't hit for shit.
Barnabas, because it's kind of... Well, actually, let's see if it can break out of the... Nope. Say it's still. Barnabas? You're on the floor, by the way.
Okay.
Hazel's been has kind of managed to peel herself out from under you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Step 1, stand up.
Yes. That's off your movement.
Okay. Step 2, manifest the echo on the other side of it. So, like, around here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to do that, and fuck it. Point.
Step 3,
He's a gray
swing.
out.
Step 3,
Swing at it.
by all means.
Actually, get 3. I got the attacks wrong when I was in its stomach, but it's panic. So, anyway, number 1. Probably not.
Nope.
Number 2.
Nope.
Wow.
You were doing better hitting in it than you were doing.
Ah!
There you
With
go. Roll
disadvantage.
them. Roll damage. You were doing more damage too. Yeah, this is where Alice is now significantly pissed. Okay, so this is going to be defensive flourish. Burning a bardic inspiration here, which means number I roll on my bardic inspiration die, which is D8. Nice, that's a 6. So, whew. Okay, so that definitely hits. So that's, I mean, we don't count the ice damage, so that's 13, 19. Attack number 2. Yeah, we're doing that.
And Darwin's gonna shout out that that you can hit harder. Remember, with trying to in-character reminder that it's combat inspiration and it can be used for damage as well as for attacks.
But yeah, so that's and that's the Darvin flailing around like that does actually manage to get her to twist the blade just so, and thump, because that's your D10. And guess what I rolled?
10. Oh, your dice.
Sometimes they save your lives, although that does still mean on 2. Okay, sometimes my dice rolling incredibly well. That's 3 6s. So that's 18, and you can't make this shit up. Twice in a fucking row.
What happened? Because you're breaking up.
Two times I rolled 3d6s and got 6 on all 3.
Nice.
But that was for doing me damage.
Ooh.
Oh, not so nice.
Where are the gods?
My dice. I can't even. So that's thankfully
Think we
Alice
could.
has a lot of HP, but that's one.
Basically, at the last death throes, flared up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably something like so.
It's
Yeah, so it's just and of course, but of course, her ice isn't doing the ice damage isn't doing anything either. But it's just knowing clearly she knows where to hit these things. She's fought them before, and given that it adopted brother and little sister cousin thing, she pissed. So it really is just one twist, and then just backs off with ow, 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 ow. Not quite as bad as the immolate thing, but ow! I'm gonna go skin that now.
I think its innards are like
I know what I'm doing.
near flaming.
Yeah, they'll chill. It's fine.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. I'll let Ree deal with what we've been up to.
I got
Why was that chasing you?
What is that?
I got ported somewhere, and then Alice ported after me and burst up. I'm very glad I got those rings, and we had to
Yeah, I
go
can,
down a
Darvin, I
tunnel.
can do that now.
Excellent. Bravo. Well done.
I might have gotten a little too close to its lair because we had to find the way back to you guys.
That's wonderful. Could somebody hose me down real quick? This smells.
I'm going to point at him. This is why I said, not down the hatch, and prestidigitating by way of the mark.
Yeah, and I'll come up.
I'll help.
I'll
Because
yeah.
I'm right there.
And we're all
it's
your
my
pigs.
fault. It's my fault that the thing just burst in the door and ate me. My fault. Okay, I see how it is.
No.
I am not saying it's your fault. I'm just insisting to the universe that we stop going down the hatches of things.
You don't say things like that, because when you do, it happens twice as much. Come on now.
Jeez.
Well, this is not on the menu.
While this is all going on, Alice is cutting chunks. It actually has her monster menu out and is cutting off chunks of neck meat. Apparently, it's really tasty. Shut up.
Occasionally hear
Fair enough.
cling, cling, cling.
You guys.
It's apparently self-cooking.
The smell too. Whew.
Yeah. Well. And there's not much really you can do with the carapace because it's a bit nah. But apparently all you need is salt and some lard for there's a big chunks of Remorhaz neck dinner.
Thank the gods.
I need a bit of healing.
Never ask me.
Remy's stepping up to Alice.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just raises an eyebrow.
Well, I mean,
Remy
to be
just-
fair, she lost over half her hit points, but she said she'll say that if she's dying. It's a thing.
Remy gives her 25 points. to
I
lay
mean,
on
if we're not in immediate danger, maybe we should take a short rest. Actually, use hit dice and stuff that we never do.
Like to not be feeling like I was
healing power.
dunked into the. As much as I adore Palor's glorious light, being directly in its full burning glory would probably just mean I would evaporate. And I feel like that happened halfway just by being bitten by it. So I think we might want to just relax for a bit.
Well,
Yeah.
there's probably nothing else coming, and I can cook us food.
Which,
I like this idea.
yes.
Darvin pulls out. Darvin pulls up his drum and just kind of starts tapping a little melody on it to act as way of song of rest, meaning everybody gets for every hit die you use, you get an extra 1d8.
Cool.
Actually, no, that's a D10. Ignore that. Okay, so
We go straight to short resting right now.
and that gets me back to full. And yeah, sometime in the middle of the short rest break that you have, you wind up with Alice serving up a surprisingly tasty smelling meat kebabs. She's brought out one of the people's warming cubes because she didn't really think that that starting a fire in here didn't feel like a good idea, even if we had anything to burn. So yeah, it's we have thing Remorhaz neck.
What was it, Davin? +6?
Eight.
Plus a
1d8.
1d8. You have to roll.
For every hit die you use, it's 1d8.
Okay, I'm just using the one. 9.
Yeah, that plus what Remy gave her put her back up to full, because I believe she burned her healing hands on somebody during the Yeti incident.
Yeah, I think she did.
And yeah, obviously spell slots are becoming a thing. But yeah, it said just salt and lard, but I put in a little bit of the burn lichen as well. Not too much, not too much. A little more for yours and yours. But it's surprisingly good. It's got a kind of a tartness that's almost but not quite citrus, because according to this, bug meat tends to be a little bit on the acidic side, but if you cook it right, it just turns into tangy.
Good to know.
Yeah. So
You okay, Hazel?
Is Barnabas's fur damaged at all by the acid damage?
No, he didn't get the acid damage.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, because you got thrown out before. Right.
yeah.
It just smelled terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who wonder where I ported to Remy from, there's apparently an underwater segment of maze, which was a little bit of a problem because I was having some trouble swimming because of the wings.
The wings.
But first I was like, okay, I know the direction Rhea is in, so I used this, taps her clairvoyance chain, to get a viewpoint, because I know you said you have to be able to see where you're going. So I got to see where she was, but then I realized it's a verbal spell. But I also remembered I can twist magic a little bit. But I was very wet and surprisingly cold. And I had to keep her out of quick snow. Yeah, that's something you need to watch out for. You've heard of quicksand?
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's
that.
snow
Yeah.
versions of that.
Apparently.
That's fun.
Good to know, at least, I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad
Good.
that we didn't have to go through that, because it would have been a lot like that. Remember that thing in the Temple of Nerul with the bits of floor that occasionally shattered under you and dumped you into
Mhm.
freezing cold water? I wish I'd had these then, but you know.
Was the floor made of no?
Yeah, you missed that one, Barnabas. Be grateful.
I wouldn't say-
They talk a lot about the wall of undead hand throttling people, but they never talk about the ice floor.
Yeah, that was not
Ah.
fun.
That was like,
I
you know
wouldn't
how
say I'm
cold,
missing.
yeah, well, you know how cold doesn't really bother Froseth all that much. That was
Or-
bad enough.
That
to-
was cold.
yeah.
It was actively
Well,
cold
yeah,
enough
we're used.
to
Well,
hurt
yeah, that's
those
fair.
two.
I'll put it to you like this: when I was shaking the water out of my wings, when I poured it out, it froze when it hit the air. So I floop and ice shards. Must have looked really impressive. But,
Bundle up tighter.
Oh, that sounded delightful.
well, you know,
Doesn't it?
we got
I'm just glad.
we got through it. It's just Reed
Mhm.
decided to do some exploration.
Yep.
I'm just glad we're all back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, now.
well, the only door we've got left is that one. Although all things considered, I have to wonder if these doors always always lead to the same place. Because I'm starting to doubt it.
Yeah, given
I mean, did you guys
the
go down a
Yeah.
whole lot of corridor?
Nope.
No,
Mhm.
pretty much one
We
door.
opened the door. We were in the room.
yeah.
Maybe this is one of those liminal space rooms. And the only reason that there was a Remorhaz was because it followed us. And
Or what's the word? Dissociative architecture, I think, is a term.
well, it seems to have followed some rules.
It's attached to the maze, and because it's attached to the maze, it follows the rules of the maze, and whatever those are means we get to rest here, or at least we get to rest here after this past challenge. Wherever it's opening is going to be straight to the next one.
Well,
Mm.
I'm not sure if that's. I think that there are some actual paths, given that she said we got the easy way. But maybe it's just that only some of it's a maze as we know it, and the rest of it's more of a gauntlet. Because there has
That
to
would make sense.
there has to be a maze component, because guardians like that are big on specificity of language. I mean, you guys, the story Darwin told me about your Shrine of Palor experience, and that wasn't anything like this.
And the Temple of Nerul wasn't.
Yeah, but this seems to be you pick different directions and you get a certain set of challenges. But when we went a little bit off they had to bring in bits that we hadn't taken the first time or something. I don't know. Because I have a feeling that we could have all ended up in the places that Ree and I did.
With big, angry friends.
Well, I actually more meant the swimming or the quick snow. Man, I wonder what else is in here.
Hmm.
Probably more
I mean-
things that are big and angry like that one.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
I mean,
got to
if
keep
this-
going, so we might find out.
Well, we
Yeah.
might,
I mean, if this
but
place has been left alone as long as it has, those probably just found their way in.
I mean, it's not like they're exactly stealing anything, and they're easy enough to keep out of places as long as they have regular food, like, I don't know, adventurers who are not as well prepared as they need to be. Honestly, I have a
Yeah.
feeling that we probably don't have that much further to go. From what you guys told me again about the Palor thing, once you hit the Sphinx, you're usually done, unless it goes wrong.
I was hoping we didn't go too far off mark.
Well,
You know what? We did not. I'm calling it. We did not.
you
Love
realize
you too, Darwin.
You,
Hey,
you,
luck, we keep saying that this terrible thing is going to happen, and then we walk into something. I'm going to say we're not.
uh, okay. Can we try that optimism with equal portion of realism? Because you can say we didn't go too far off track, but I circumnavigated at least 2 bits of maze by clever use of magic and the fact that I have wings now. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to navigate that shit.
Nicely done.
But it's possible that she is impressed with the way I found around her challenges and will therefore not test us further. Possibly.
I mean,
Oh,
have a look at.
boy.
But
Remember
there's
how
no
Remy
but
got
there's
around
no
the.
but there's no sense in saying we didn't overstep, because if there's one thing that's going to piss off beings that powerful, is telling them what to do.
I'm remembering how Remy managed to avoid the floor of Nope pretty efficiently, and I think we got props for that. So,
Well, she didn't quite avoid the floor of nope entirely on her
I
own
remember she
this
didn't
time.
quite avoid it, but she got a good part of the way through it without.
No, I mean this time.
Ah. So this time the floor of Nope got you.
No, and stretches out her wings again.
Mhm.
Yeah, you circumvented it that way. I'm talking about Remy specifically. The
No,
inverse.
She was carrying Remy.
I popped in, but she had the good sense to stand in the doorway and try to evaluate her circumstances, which gave me enough time to port in.
Ah,
And while I
okay.
was catching my breath, gesturing at her not to move.
That was very good timing on your part.
Oh, you two are adorable.
A hand in Hazel's hair and ruff, 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 ruff. And the fringe is just poof. Yeah, so sort of
Feeling much better now.
sits down next to Ava. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry I made things worse for you guys.
It's okay, and thank you. We're gonna teach you your limits with powerful, easily offended things with very significant rule sets.
Well,
But
No, I'm
it's
feeling a little bit impatient too. It's okay.
it's fine. But it's a reminder. Is I have a feeling that my being dumped there was probably not exactly about me.
what do you mean?
I didn't tell her what to do. I just made a noise that was just, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I'm proud as hell of you just jutting your chin up at a frickin' gynosphinx and telling it that this is not gonna happen. But when it can banish you, I'm assuming that you just did what Mom did to me and just put you someplace else for a little while?
I think so.
Like
yeah.
extra planar timeout?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, when they can do that, they don't have to listen to shit.
That's true.
It may not have been wise, but yeah, it was pretty epic.
Yeah, it doesn't quite beat I have 2 words for you, Mr. Draken, but it was
Yeah.
close.
Very close.
And he told me off for mouthing off to the to the dragon. Yeah, I mouthed off to a Dracolich, and then he attempted to Eldritch blast it and missed by a country mile.
I think he hit the ceiling, if I remember, or the
He went through his
Uh,
bones.
No, roof of the gazebo first, then through the ribs, without hitting anything. But it was still pretty epic. It was particularly when it was like, "I have you to thank," and she does the voice of the of the Dracolich. I have you to thank for waking. And he and then turns around in her own voice, and then he just turns around and in Aaron
Nice.
voice, "You're welcome."
Not like that. Oh, I had
She has
almost
the
forgotten
actor
that
feet.
part.
She's gonna fucking use it.
Mhm.
I had almost forgotten about that part. I remembered the I have two words. I'd
Mhm.
forgotten to thank you in this moment. Wow.
It's just the "You're welcome."
Oh god, that was a fight, wasn't it?
Well, you know, of course, to be fair, it doesn't. That part of it was probably only bolstered by eventually by my going, him turning around and going, "You are going to try to kill me," and dude, already dead.
Yeah.
I mouth off to things. It turns around to Barnabas. It makes me a target, but I'm probably going to be a target anyway, so.
You are kind of.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, Ree doesn't quite like me being the target. She keeps reminding
No.
me about her armor.
Yep. Well, sometimes things do need to be said. Admittedly.
But you can't expect me to stop mouthing off to things when I'm so good at it.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Very fair.
Okay, so is everybody feeling more or less okay enough to continue?
Mm.
Onwards.
And since we're at about break time, we will go onwards when we come back from break. Currently, Remy is in a little bit of a predicament.
Mhm.
She is kind of on her own in the middle of what appears to be well, it's kind of hard to see past the bits of either diamond or ice. You're not really sure which. In the center of the space, on one level, it might be a little reminiscent of a much larger version of the arena that the Archfey Lord put you into, but at the same
Yeah.
time, there is something else it might possibly remind Remy of. Specifically, you remember that one spot in the Temple of Nerul where bits of the floor turned out to be fragile ice and you went...
Yes.
That's another option. Just saying. So, yeah, okay. Remy kind of point and it's very cold in here, and there's your bit of landmark.
Remy takes 30 seconds to do some breathing exercises,
Okay,
and then
that's a
see if
very
anything else appears, and then she'll very, very cautiously start to move forwards.
well. That's where I bring out I actually bring out dice and see whether luck is with you, because there is an option here.
Speaking of luck, does Remy still have that inspiration, or did that time out?
That would have timed out by now,
Okey-doke.
particularly if you waited 30 seconds. But
Okey-doke.
you did have a pause with the Yeti. Inspiration, FYI, lasts for about a minute,
Oh, yeah, okay then.
which is 10 rounds, so it's fine in combat.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, you've actually just about hit the 30-second mark when if I can find my artwork bit. Hello. I really need to bookmark this shit better. Here we go. At the very top of your sculpture bit, I'll say, soaking wet, very out of breath, and holding up a hand with a gesture that, well, she's actually shivering, so whatever cold she had got through her resistances. But through the shivering, you can just about tell means do not move. Well, she gets her breath back and shakes water out of her wings.
Remy
you're not
freezes to a halt.
yeah, you're not entirely sure, but some of that water is freezing to ice as soon as it shakes out of her wings.
Are you okay?
That was mean as shit. And if I didn't have that thing where I can cast a spell without saying words. Yeah, the other thing I did not mention is that before she turned up purple glitter, you didn't know she could do that. You can do that. Darvin can do that. You didn't know she could do that. Because that was new. I've decided. It's been a long time since I actually felt cold. I don't like it. Just let me dry off, but don't.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
move.
you should dry off immediately because it's really cold.
Yeah, it's more the water. A little bit of prestidigitation. The reason I am telling you not to move is you've heard of quicksand?
Yes.
Well, there's a snow version.
Oh my god.
It's not all over the place here. It's kind of in patches, but I didn't figure you knew how to navigate that. Yeah, okay, so the ring is useful if you put it together with my taps her clairvoyant chain thing. So, yeah, we have a couple of options. Once I've finished with the water, because you don't want to be touching this, I can point you the way around it, or I can just pick you up.
Remy looks up to see how high the ceiling is.
Fairly high.
I would probably rather be picked up, but I also am worried we're supposed to do this thing a certain way.
Well, you know what? I was probably supposed to.
You-
I was probably supposed to swim through that. I didn't.
That is a good point.
If there was going to be repercussions from that, well, they'd have happened by now.
Okay, then you should pick me up because I really do not want to get wet.
It's not so much the wet, although for all I know, the quick snow might dump you into the water I was just in. I'm really not entirely sure, but you'd probably suffocate first, and I really don't want that to happen.
Neither do I.
If you want to pack up the armor, I'll be able to go a
Yes.
bit faster. At least it doesn't interfere with your. So yeah, the only reason that this happened with me is because yeah, I think this was punishment for Ava, if nothing else. Because man, I thought
boy.
I mouthed off bad, but I stopped it like no, because I was gonna do this anyway.
I'm not entirely sure. I blame her, but you know, we should get moving.
And it flies over in your general direction and lands someplace that she sure is not quick snow riddled, although she does pick up a random bit of rock she'd been carrying around, chucks it into the snow about 5 feet ahead of Remy, and it just.
Oh, that disappeared very quickly.
Well, it's very light compared to you. I don't know if that means it would go faster or slower with you, but you could probably have more surface area. I don't know.
I don't want to find out.
Wizard shit.
I do not need to know.
Yeah, and it just does the piggyback thing and up and over, and you get to the other side of the room. I may as well move the both of you there. Boink. Yeah, because I'm trying to see if I can, if I'm allowed to show you the GM overlay. Because it'd be interesting for you to see what where the snow actually was, but hey,
I can see some different colored patches.
Oh, that doesn't all correspond.
Okay.
I was really mean to you that way. But most of here, a little bit, four squares worth there, all the way along there, and sort of up. Chunks there. And most of here, which is why Alice was very, very careful about where she put you down.
Remy is very glad that Alice has wings.
It's like, yeah, your wedding gift turned out really, really useful.
Yes, it did.
And, that's looking at what does appear to be sort of blank wall and silence.
Remy looks over at the wall.
Give me a perception check. There should be a door there. Or at least some kind of gap. It just appears to be significantly filled in at the moment.
With ice.
Yeah. That's the theme here. Yeah.
Remy just starts pushing her hands against door seeming parts of the wall.
Yeah, can you give me a constitution saving throw, please?
Oof.
Yeah, that means you only take... That means you only take 1 point of cold damage as... first of all, you did not state you put your armor back on. So that's bare hands on ice. And you lose a good couple of layers of skin off your hands before Alice sort of grabs you, yanks your hands. Like, don't do that!
Nope. That's much colder than I thought it would be. I'm not used to ice being that cold. It makes sense. Places south of here, the ice gets cold, but not
Okay.
horrendously cold.
Rule of thumb. It does a quick healing word on you, and not even bothering to roll for it because it's 1 point of damage. But still, actually, you might still have damage for all I know. So
No,
that's...
she didn't get hit by the Yetis.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, never mind. In which case, yeah.
So
quick healing word. It's like the rule of thumb. This is like the... No pun intended, I've been hanging around with Darwin too long. Polar opposite of Alzor High. It's still in everything about it wants to kill you, but
yes,
cold instead of... Yeah. So
Remy puts her armor back on.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Sort of looks up and goes, "Yep, okay. I am sorry that we used all available resources to get out of this punishment. Is there anything else we need to do, or are you just going to open the door?" And there's a fairly nasty cracking sound, and schlumph. Well, that...
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, I just don't know where we go from here. I refuse to believe it's that easy.
As long as we're going somewhere.
You know that we have people, right?
Yes, and if we're going somewhere, we're a better chance of getting back to them than if we're stuck in this room.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's a thing. You can do that. The dimension door thing.
Yes, I was just thinking we just need to get within 500 feet of them.
Of course. Well, here, okay, see, here's the thing. Trying to figure out exactly... I'm attempting triangulating because when I felt where you were through the rings, it was up. I don't know. This place cannot be that big.
I mean, if it goes underground or under ice, in which there is more ice.
That's fair, but all the same, I'm not liking the idea of us wandering around the place on our own. But of course, I've used my clairvoyant bit for the day. But then again, if I hadn't, I probably would have drowned. So
Yeah.
just as well.
So
Still,
move forward a little bit at least and see
Yeah.
what's out here.
yeah. What it is, and Alice doesn't notice so much because she keeps forgetting she actually has dark vision. It's very, very dark in there.
Remember me, someone's a light.
Oh, right. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. And what you have is an ice tunnel. It seems to be somewhat windy. So we just keep walking?
Yep.
Okay. They walk for a little while, and then they've got 2 branch points, left and right. Oh, good. Decisions.
Remy looks down one and then the other.
They look identically windy and identically made of ice.
And they're both, neither of them are like inclining up or down.
Nope.
Oh boy. Hmm. Flipping a coin doesn't seem like a appropriate response to this kind of trial.
No, but at the same time, the only other option is each of us taking a direction scouting for a
Nope.
little while. And yeah,
Well,
I mean it's all we've got.
I think still best to stay together just in case.
Yeah.
It is particularly maze-like.
Well, okay. Here's my thought. Um, we go until we run into either a like branching off points or something dangerous. We don't take any extraneous turns. We look around, we see what we have, we see what there is to see. We meet back up in the middle and compare notes and see if anything tells us which direction
Okay.
we're supposed to be going.
Okay, just don't go too far ahead.
Like I said, until either something wants to eat me or there's a branch.
Okay.
Or like 10 minutes, whichever comes first.
Yep, 10 minutes. Probably would be best.
Kiss on top of the head and then pat, 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 pat off. She kind of took left by default, so
Yeah.
I guess the right hand side is up to you. Okay, make me a perception check. You are seeing some signs of traffic as you get a little bit further in, with your bit of light, probably on your shield, because you be like that.
Yep. What kinds of traffic or sizes of footsteps?
I was getting to that point. I was just trying to set a mental scene here.
Mhm.
Mostly, given that perception check, you can't. Well, actually, give me a survival check. I'm pretty sure you're not proficient, but you can give it a shot.
Nope. Well, it either is or isn't Yeti sized.
It's bigger than Yeti sized, and it's
No,
got a
that
lot
one,
more. It's got a lot more legs than Yeti size, and you're not entirely sure what this you're not entirely sure about this because it's on ice and it's not a surface you've seen with this kind of mark, but it looks like electrical burns.
Oh boy.
And
She
Mm.
she tries to be more quiet as she continues.
yeah, make me another perception check.
She forgets to look up.
Probably, yes. To be fair, she's more looking ahead because she's trying to anticipate an attack. So she's not looking at anything on any of the walls. She does find a branch off point. And honestly, with that perception check, she can't tell whether one of them is more marked up than the other. The best she can do is there's a lot more space off to the left. Something cavernous looking. Possibly someplace where something big would live.
Okay, she turns around and quietly goes back.
Yeah, okay, make me a stealth check at this point. Yeah, there's some snarly kind of it's a noise that you would hear if an insect could roar.
How close is it behind Remy?
Well, that wasn't too bad, but it would have probably heard the rattling as you approached its current sleeping den. So it doesn't seem to be moving in your direction yet, but it's definitely aware of your presence.
Then she'll just keep on going back the way she came.
Christ. Yeah, is she just walking or is she...
He looks back and then tries to stay quiet.
Yeah, okay, make me another stealth check. Oh, the gang is going to absolutely hate you because this is going to be an interesting setup for what is to come next session, because what is effectively happening now, I was not entirely anticipating this, but I'll run with it because why the hell not? You are currently leading a Remorhaz to the rest of the group.
He's trying to go back down the tunnel to
Yeah,
meet back
but
up with Alice.
I didn't get around to what Alice found yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so
Well-
she's probably moving a little faster than she should be because
Yep.
there's roaring noises, and
She wants to get back to Alice.
yeah, and Alice is like, okay, there's actually some celestial down that way, and it does seem to be pointed. What is that expression on? What the
There's
fuck did you do?
Something I
Oh,
see it,
fuck!
but I think it has a lot of legs,
Oh,
and it sounded hungry.
that's a Remorhaz. Basic doesn't even bother. Just take the armor off briefly,
Okay.
and then just sort of, given the size of you and barbarian strength, she just sort of tucks you under an arm like a football and starts flying. At
Okay.
absolute top speed. There's still the noise. There's blur of what does seem to be certain bits of marking that even if you were going at a reasonable speed, you couldn't read anyway. And that's around the point at which you reach a door, which she just kind of shoulders into. And that would be where we get re-involved with the rest of the party. So that's gonna be a fun one for them. Huzzah! Thanks for that. I was not entirely. You guys had skipped most of it. The only thing you'd actually tripped over was the Yeti, and now I mean, you guys didn't burn too much spell energy against the Yeti, so
No,
aren't you
fortunately.
glad I warned Hazel not to blow spell slots on the nearly dead Yeti?
Yep. I don't really know what a Remorhaz is yet, so I'll leave that for next week.
Well, no, given that you'll have heard it by now, you can actually look it up because
Okay.
she did explain those. In all
Oh,
fairness,
okay.
because they were some of the things you might find down there.
Mhm.
Not that Remy would be thinking about it when her survival roll was shit, and
No.
yeah, so yeah, we'll reconvene on that one with the rest of the group. Thank gods next week.
And
So
remember, it's not going to fight any strange creatures alone.
yeah, look at the challenge rating on a Remorhaz and
Yeah.
be grateful.
I'm just looking at the picture, and if she had seen that, she would have turned right around.
Yes, well, it was mostly in its den. You just saw signs. I mean, if Alice had taken the right fork, she would have seen those and turned around and gone back the other way without going any further than that. Because she's desperately overconfident, but there are limits. Besides, Remy would kill her.
Yep.
If the Remorhaz did it. Well, to be fair, if the Remorhaz killed her, Remy'd probably bring her back and then slap her around some. But
Yep.
anyway,
Yep.
point is, this was all on Remy. I thought you were going to avoid that little bugger the entire trip, and I guess not. Through the wonderful combination of one missed riddle, people mouthing off, and a very pissed off kindness fix. Anyway, thank you for that. I will see you next week.
Likewise.
And we're back, heading out of, well, we may as well remove you, because you are now smushed. After being beaten up fairly badly, but emerging triumphant from, Remorhaz that was, lured into your general, vicinity, and they didn't really have teeth for Alice to take, so she took one of the mandibles and also fed neck bits to you as, like, lunch. Door on the other side of the room from when this one comes opens, and more corridor. This one is a slightly different corridor, however, in that there are already drift globe-like bits of light hovering above little sconces along the very well carved, very smooth ice corridors. It's all still made of ice, but this is looking more lived in, man-made.
Has there been any activity in the recent times?
Make me a survival check, because you're looking for tracks.
24.
No, doesn't seem to have been any. It's entirely possible that, given everything else that's either wandered in or living here, living things ain't got this far.
Mm.
Not in a very, very long time. Sorry, I just have to interrupt. I see Trinket.
Yep.
Well,
Onwards, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
don't think there's that much point in sneaking.
Probably not.
There aren't exactly shadows to hide in.
Nope. Plus with all that racket with the fight back there.
And again, we don't know exactly where this might have opened up to. And I've used up my bit of clairvoyance for the day, so. Glad I managed to stop that thing from attacking anymore. I like that spell. That was clutch.
That was very useful.
It was very clutch.
walk along, and after a little while, like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so of walking, there's something else. Carpet. Surprisingly unfaded carpet.
That doesn't seem like it should be here.
It
Oh,
seems
I
to
have
be
a few
stretching
guesses.
along too, as you look out further and look around a bit, sort of around a bend in the corridor. There's a set of double doors, and it's basically laid out rugs.
Are they the same color as the floor? Or
No, they're to be fair, they're kind of mismatched. It's like,
Mhm.
you know, one looks like it was somebody's hook rug project, and another one looks like it was very artfully tapestry woven, and the one leading half in is just like this sort of like a remnant of carpet for somebody's front room. But you guys, that's the thing, in Baronsphere, you don't really have that level of carpeting. You have rugs. So this just looks like you've seen carpeting like this mostly, to be fair, in the Riddler's Stump, the wall-to-wall stuff. This just looks like a cutout segment of that, sort of leading into the...
Is it like a path, or is it covering the entire sort of corridor?
It's doing its best to cover the entire bit of corridor, which isn't all that wide anyway. But it's just sort of like the world's most mismatched and overlong welcome mat by someone who doesn't really understand the concept of welcome mat.
Oh boy. This is weird.
Well, only one way to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Continue.
I can understand why a few of you might be a little bit reluctant to be stepping on the carpets. But the carpets, when you do step upon them, do not, in fact, attempt to rise up and wrap themselves around you in a death snuggle.
Oh, yeah. When Clarity first steps in there, she's trying to step around the edges, but when she sees everybody else's time, she's like, "Oh, okay."
Just kind of strides across them, going stomp, 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 and does a little jig on the one that actually looks the most like the one that Clarity had to be extricated from. It was just a little Moskwe colony jig, tappity 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 tappity. Looks a little like the Snoopy dance or river dance. Well, either way. Ta-da!
Well, okay then. Tarbin just
And the double doors, they also appear to be made of ice. No words carved on them, but some very interesting and very intricate designs. Also looks very heavy, surprisingly.
That's lovely.
Ree, you want to take one side and I'll take the other?
Remy nods and stacks up.
Step back.
Make me a strength check.
Oh, whoops.
Well, okay then.
Yeah, just between the two of them, it's shoved. There's no creak. It's entirely possible the hinges are made of ice, too. But the door opens onto basically Clarity's idea of heaven. Large round room. You imagine bookshelves are probably on the outer end of it, but there's also second circle bookshelves with spaces in
Oh
between.
god, bookshelf spiral.
Not so much a spiral, more of a those things where you've got kind of a ball at one side and you need to drop it to the other side by arranging,
Yeah,
wiggling everything in one, like that, but horizontal. So you got all around, and then circle, half, quarter circle, quarter circle, quarter circle in
with
grading
little
down,
gaps for people
Concentric
to walk
circles
through.
of books.
and
Concentric
and
circles of bookshelves.
yeah, well, not full circles because there's gaps in between, and right at the center, ice pillar that's again carved in more intricate designs, and this place is a good 20 feet high, to the point where you can, I mean, that's the bookshelves, but that bit in the center goes up further and further, and part of the light that you're getting from there is actually filtering down through ice, so it's a faint blue, very chilly kind of light. And as you step inside and again, this place is it's attempting to be wall-to-wall carpets, but it's mismatched bloody carpets. And at least half of them are increasing in intricacy and talent, hook rugs. And as Clarity is kind of looking around, like,
Her eyes are about as wide as saucers and just goes,
Oh no.
friends.
to which point, a voice from seemingly nowhere, at least at first, is, "Oh, it's been a very long time since we've had visitors come this far. You guys have heard enough Dragonborn speak to know that voice, wherever it comes from, is a Dragonborn's voice."
That's interesting.
And
Hello?
round about the pillar, materializing, is, quite frankly, the ghost of a Dragonborn. Little taller than Froseth, clearly older than Froseth when he died, but all of y'all give me a perception check. Froseth gets advantage. He does kind of know what he looks like.
9.
5.
18.
14.
14 as well.
Yeah, it's predominantly, and Remy notices a bit of familiarity. Yeah, Barnabas does squat.
Ah,
Yeah, I know. Clarity is trying to pay attention, but books.
Hazel freaked out by the ghost part because she I don't think
Yeah.
she would have seen any.
Yeah, Darvin and Hazel, and Clarity and Alice, to be fair, all get, there is a Froseth resemblance to this individual. You've seen enough Dragonborn. I mean, you remember Torin a little better than some of the rest of these guys. And Froseth, on the other hand, given that either way he rolled better than all of y'all, are actually noticing that there is a family resemblance, certainly, but there's a little bit more Faraday to that, or at least probably will be when she grows into to the snout more. And of course, they did say something about air too. It does seem to be focusing a bit more on Froseth than the others.
Yeah.
Insight check. Both of them sort of see what if there's recognition happening. 18?
Yeah. There's something
Yeah.
Froseth knows that this one doesn't, but
Something familiar here? Froseth, you definitely know something.
No is strong, but I have a strong suspicion of relation here.
it's entirely possible. I'd probably need a name first.
Froseth Rhyme
Of Rhymehook.
of.
At least that's how it would have been styled in the old days.
Well, I wasn't exactly raised by our people, so
That's fairly obvious. But, that seems a bit of a shame. My brother was the one who moved west very long time ago. We were. He wanted me to go with him. We were having some issues with, the worshippers of our god's sister was a little, I couldn't leave this place undefended. So my brother went and he would have founded a colony out west. You're not sure it's supposed to be you here, are you?
I'm no, I very unsure here.
Oh, those of Rhymehook are, in technicality, the heirs to this place. We've, for the most part, we're a two-pronged family. Some of us seek knowledge, and others of us seek understanding. I gather you're more understanding.
Yes.
Yes, that would have been my brother all over. Don't find as much understanding between the pages of a book, he says. So why are you here?
Well, we, myself, and my friends, family here, were tasked with bringing back knowledge for the Silver Vault, to further our own journey dealing with our god sister.
She's back making more of a fuss, is she? Wonderful.
Very much so.
Well, have the purges started yet? Why is the human nodding at me?
He,
The human is precipitate, I understand.
it's there's been some places laid to rather ruin. I'm not sure if that's what you mean by purges, or if I should be worried about something else.
At which point, I'll say is just kind of, I know I'm probably being a bit precipitate, but Froseth is not the best with words. Yes. Not just the Silver Dragonborn, though they were apparently among the first along with the Azamar. The purges have started. Well, I suppose I'll have to provide something to help you along on your quest then. Understand I would not have been doing this for just anyone, but when it comes to family, I suppose one must help out. But before I do, I have a question. You weren't raised by your family. Does any Rhymehook survive?
Well, my sister has been brought back. She is younger than me now, but would have been older.
Knowledge or understanding?
Knowledge, very much so.
Well then, make me a promise and you'll have what you'd like. Promise to tell her about this place.
I promise.
Good. I think she's meant to at least see it. The House of Rhymehook has been looking after it through me for a very, very, very long time now. It would be nice to see a bit more of where the family ended up, and since you two appeared to be the last, I take it when they said that towns were brought to ruin, that means yours. Not just yours.
Yeah. There's a lot, and I'm not sure if when she was active before there was I'm not even sure what to call it, the black stuff we've been having to deal with.
That was a different situation. It has come up before, but her five-headed majesty wasn't involved with it at that point. She thought it was icky, I believe. But as I understand it, she was looks at Remy like, really. As I understand it, she wound up in Avernus, and I imagine that kind of thing makes somebody desperate.
Yeah.
So there are going to be some significant problems. Okay, and you want something that can be provided to would have been the silver who finally took down the black that was sitting on this place. From what little I get from the outside. Viev.
Yeah.
As I understand it, I don't know how many greats for you, but my grandmother. If she's ever seemed particularly fond of you, that would be why.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Which gives me my starting point. A moment. Then, gone. Hang on. The doorbell is ringing, and I don't know why.
That was in character for a split
Yeah, I thought that was
Oh my goodness, that was funny.
Like ghost doorbell?
Yeah, I was like,
Exactly.
I mean, you know,
One second, I was
if
like,
he's projecting his spirit.
it's Vaz, I'm finally coming to say hey.
it's
brought a
fucking
casserole.
midnight over there.
His grandmothers always do that. She brought a pie or something. I don't know. I just figured grandma, they always bring something.
Isn't it S in the morning over there?
It was 1:13
Yeah.
for me, so it's midnight for her.
Yeah.
Who the heck rings the doorbell at like midnight?
I know.
Nothing
I-
good.
You're muted.
Somebody drunk and forgot their key, and I don't know them to let them in. They say they forgot their key, but I've never seen them before, so I'm not buzzing them
Sorry.
into the building. We've had warnings about that shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
you've forgotten your key, that's kind of your problem.
Yeah.
That's why you don't forget your key. Anyway, yeah. So just for a moment and talk amongst yourselves. And all I'll say is looking at Froseth that just tried just watching.
Are you okay?
He seems relatively well. Like he's got his normal stoic, but there's definitely something under there that's like brain racing, trying to make connections.
You know, I know you're not the best at words, but sometimes talking out loud the things that are buzzing around in your brain will put it into a line for you to look at and might let others of us who are a little better at having shit thrown at them help decode it for you.
Like I don't know. Just it's well the connection to Viev is
Wait, you didn't,
now that I think about it,
you didn't
is
see that
obvious,
before?
but-
Yeah. Alice just kind of slaps him on the back like,
yeah, no, looking back, it's rather it's right there looking me in the face.
you're
and
just not used to having family of that type.
yeah.
Thank you for calling us family, by the way. I was personally touched.
Well, it took some time for me to come to recognize that as an idea, but it is you are. It's yeah.
From my side, you've been for quite some time, but thank you for you saying it from your side. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Darwin, you never shut up about it, so...
Yeah, I'm quick. What can I say? I never shut up, so hey.
Yeah, I could have stopped there, I know, but...
Yeah.
It's just... I get that finding out you have a... Believe me, I know finding out you have a bunch of connections to someone... older, wiser, more powerful, and generally just kind of intimidating and weirdly nice is kind of gonna throw you. Trust me, I know this one.
There's there's some odd comfort there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that one too.
Well, you definitely have one hell of a foundation, kind of, sort of. That's not quite the right word, but
It's always nice to know that you've got somebody like that in your corner.
Yeah.
and you definitely have a major tie to history. Again, words. That's not quite what I mean, but I've never tried to describe a situation like this. So, but I think you might kind of get what I'm. At least the general idea of what I'm
You
trying to
have
go
a
for here.
lineage.
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
I will say out of character, you're the one who picked the hermit background. I had to do something with it.
Yes.
This is what I am
yes.
doing with it.
Yeah. No, it's great.
It's just for Froseth, it's a little
Yeah, it's like
That's a lot to process.
yes.
Yeah, what really amuses me is that I've given him since he met Aled, and it's only just now that he's actually started to process anything. It's great. I love it.
Dragonborn brain Borkin.
Dragonborn brain go brrr.
Yes. A little while later, when this conversation is more or less wound down to the usual support, laughing at Darwin kind of thing, rematerializes with two surprisingly solid books for something that apparently incorporeal. Hands them to Froseth.
Takes them.
They appear to be the same book. Same size, same shape, same color. They're copies. One is for you and your sister. You deserve to know this. This is a history. Ours. Going back from the time before, when this was a proper temple to Oril. This is a history of Clan Ramhook. As far as I know it, anyway. It's not likely to be in the Silver Vault, where a lot of what is here might be, simply because it's more personal. I know they have journals, but it's been buried a very long time, so. Besides, it's technically her descendants as well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that. Well, I thoroughly appreciate it. I know Faraday will love it, and the extra copy for Viev seems about perfect.
I
Thank
had
you.
a feeling that if at least one of your adoptive family were let to rampage, the decision paralysis would leave her here for the rest of eternity.
Darwin
I can
just
literally feel her vibrating.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Speak your name, little book lover.
Clarity? Millereth?
What? There is something trying to escape. Let it out before you explode.
Can I just read some of the spines? I don't want to touch anything, I just want to read the spines.
You cannot stay for very long, but hold. Comes back much shorter time later. Thinner book. Offering it in Clarity's direction. What it appears to be is... It's almost like a table of contents for the library space.
Thank you.
It's not much, but it's something.
She opens it up right away. Looking at it.
Don't say.
It's just it looks at first that you do know that you can't stay for very long because it will start getting colder.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess we do we each need to grab something? I don't remember.
No, as I recall, it was one. Alice says just it was one thing because we don't want to denude the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's more that we each get a bit of the Silver Vault of our choice when we get there, and we've already had that planning discussion. And actually just kind of picks Clarity up and he yeet over shoulder so she can keep reading. Come on.
Thank you.
Gives a
on the way
little
out the door,
to
yeah, on the way out the door, Darwin just says, "Thank you, sir. Sorry if I was rude at all.
And he-
I am loud. I apologize." And just out the door.
Yeah, he's looking. Alice
He does
just
that.
Alice just does with clarity still.
Ava
Same.
Bowden walks up,
Thank you so much.
The door at the end of the corridor actually opens into a spot you don't remember having a door right next to the tunnel that just across a corridor from the tunnel that leads out.
This wasn't here before.
Magic. Ava. Magic.
Yeah.
There's nothing it can't
Thank-
do. Come on. It's
Thank
still-
goodness for that.
Before it gets colder, please. I don't.
Mhm.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Mhm.
No.
Let's go somewhere where we
Yeah.
can light a fire again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably gonna be the winter camp.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
saved some of the Remorhaz meat. If anybody's back on shore by now, I can show them the kind of thing we're talking about. Should have taken some of the Yeti. I've never been particularly good at cooking Yeti, but there's some interesting ideas in this book.
Mm.
It's still carrying clarity, like it ain't no thing. Which is kind of hysterical because Clarity's now trying to read around the feathers.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trailing behind this, just watching Clarity's attempt and also wigging out about her book, just sort of with a look of adoration on my face. This is too precious not to watch.
I'd probably be behind, keeping her from tripping over dots of ice on the floor or something.
Well, it really is. You know, Alice can watch where she's going because this is fairly negligible weight for her.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing about barbarians, they can just
Hey, strong.
She's drunk.
she's
Yeah.
drunk. I mean, a lot of it's core, but you know. And with the snow trump, you got Clarity kind of leaning around a wing and just bending a little funny, but
You have a copy of something about Fey magic? It's really cool sounding.
To be fair, there's not a whole lot in the way of Fey magic in that one. This is more.
Just making
Yeah,
up.
that's the reason that I'm going into it now. I mean, there seems to be a whole section on the older forms of worship for the gods as were. There seems to be several histories of what happened when Tiamat got the black that was serving her at the time to take over old Equitas. What the various provinces looked like. Also, some very interesting bits of cultural, ancient cultural stuff. What the provinces were like before the Five Claws came. There's at least 3 histories of how the Five Claws claimed Equitas. You can't tell which ones are more bard written and which ones are more dry historical from the titles, but they're there. It's mostly ancient historical stuff about Equitas. There do seem to be a few different lineages of names that sound dragonborn, so they might be old silver dragonborn families. But obviously the rhyme hook genealogy has been removed. Though it's on the list, because, Eventually, you get back to within sight of the longhouse, and there's still the kids. As the little 5-year-old is carrying the snow leopard cub, much the way Alice is carrying Clarity. And this point, this poor snow leopard cub is just resigned. It's just
Oh,
I
Aw.
accept my fate.
poor kitty.
I get pets at least.
Hello.
Ooh. It's just they wave and they go back to the running around, just like they came back kind of thing. They're kind of used to their elders going out to do something dangerous and coming back looking kind of scuffed up. That's kind of a regular occurrence. So. And you've still got the sleds and the dogs who do perk up, kind of. Ooh, people.
Squitchy, squitches.
While Clarity is trying to read, she's got dog.
Boing.
Lick, 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 and then snoof, snoof, snoof the book, and then chomp. Now trying to tug of war the book because
No.
it's not.
Let go.
Let's say a little help, please. We have a book problem.
Clarity, you have speak with animals. Can't you just ask him to stop?
Good point.
Okay, I'll cast speak with animals.
And but most of what you're getting is play.
I know, but not with this though. I just got it.
But play.
I'll
But play.
play.
Alice just kind of puts her down, and the dog lets go, but is clearly gonna grab it again if the book isn't put away and he's not played with. Boink boink.
Putting
And
it
I'm
away and finding a
extricating the book
stick.
if possible.
Putting away the book, grabbing a stick.
Oh no.
What's your AC?
We're about to get
Actually,
tackled.
No,
No.
never mind. That's a nat 20. It doesn't really matter. Actually, this boy's trying to tug of war with Clarity's tail.
Oh!
Oh,
He's not. Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's not breaking skin. So and given that's a nat 20, all of a sudden Clarity on her face. It's
She just
being
rolls over
dragged.
and is like,
So yeah, it's actually being dragged at this point because it's still not breaking skin, but got enough of a grip that while Clarity is turned around, grabbing hold of her own tail to keep anything from getting dislocated, it's like she's sled dogging without the sled.
Need a hand
this
there,
is
dear?
happening.
At which point you're just getting play. This is all you're getting.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Should we do something?
She looks happy enough.
I think she's good. I'll
And
keep an eye.
At which point Clarity is pulled into the rest of the dogs who are
Oh
waiting.
boy.
Glomp.
I'm going to slowly follow just to keep an eye on her.
Yeah, there's the licking, nuzzling, squirming dog pile now.
I'm gonna see if there's a calmer one and just sit and squitch him.
No,
They're
Yeah,
all fiddling
nope,
around.
nope. They're all covering
play,
Clarity
play.
in drool.
No.
Descent of the fluffy horde.
Yeah, we're gonna snuggle Butterscotch.
Yeah. Butterscotch is kind of looking, liking the snuggling, but looking over and going, it's almost like, wow, those are big me's. Tilts little fluffy head up at Ava, like, are they superior to me? Kind of look.
No, of course not.
But nuzzle. Alice is gone into the longhouse and got back out with Ford, going, I wasn't sure whether to expect you so soon. I wasn't sure whether to expect you at all. And she slaps him and makes a series of gestures that Barnabas and Remy both see means, you know me better than that. And he gestures back, well, yeah, okay, but you did survive what you survived. And he just gestures at Remy at that point. A further gesture of, I got to save her this time. So, we have another 2 days of trading with Bergtown. And then we start heading towards Demille.
Okay.
You happy with this, or do you want to make this attempt your own selves? Alice slaps him in the chest again. I ask. You are brave adventurers.
That is true, but it sounds
Th-
like it'd be better than we
that
stay
seems like the
together.
line between brave and dumb.
I knew I
What he
liked
said.
you.
Darwin doesn't say anything. He just goes.
He's learning. It walks up to Darvin. You're learning, and does what he's done to Hazel. Pat, and you're into the snow. But this is a deeper snowdrift, so you're kind of into your waist. So it's
Oh boy.
it just walks off. But apparently, this is fairly normal.
You okay there, Darwin?
Yeah, mostly. I accept my fate. It's the same look on his face as the snow cub at this point. Just sort of, well, okay, this happened.
At which point, Alice grabs Darvin by the furs and drink.
Thank you.
He does that. You get used to it.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Come on, you want to get some trade canoes back to Bergtown? We can. And she gestures in Vord's direction. Again, for Remy and Barnabas, I can show you guys how to cook Remorhaz meat. You see the incredulous expression, and for these two, you killed a Remorhaz. I did, and I'll dance it for you if you want to come by for dinner. At which point, everybody starts shoving out the canoes. And if you guys aren't moving fast enough, I mean, Ford just kind of plucks Clarity out of the dog pile, pretty much dripping in saliva at this point. And the dogs look like they want to protest, and they take one look at Ford, and they just sit.
Good boys.
I mean, the tails wag, but they know better than to
Good
just
dogs.
sit. It's sit, and we know play will happen, but we'll behave. And just dumps her into one of the canoes and picks up Hazel and puts her in there too.
Darwin
I'm
quickly
just glad to be
finds-
along for this ride.
Hazel probably follow.
Yeah, and so thus back to Bergtown, and Alice unloads various bits of Remorhaz meat and shows them how she cooked it, and very happy Moskoy and people. And then she dances the kill, which again, Remy and Barnabas can see this, and it really is just, it's the difference between succinct military briefing, which is the kind of hand gestures you guys would know how to use, and epic poetry. Because it's two separate languages. You guys just only know how to use the basic one. I don't think Barnabas would manage very well with this kind of dancing.
No.
Not with them hooves.
But there's the usual spread. They're still making use of the orca from the other day, and the sharks. With different types of stews. The shark apparently they're making into sushi. which is just sort of spread on seaweed salad and weirdly rice. Hazel and Ava actually probably would have seen that one of the bubbles was a rice patty.
It's good to know that bubble was in very good immediate use.
They're all in very good immediate use.
Oh, just visibly in front of all of us because of the thing. I just like seeing the results of what I did. Helped do.
You have not looked at the stew. You were digging carrots. You dug all the carrots. Until we made you stop. You went so focused that you kind of would not stop until we actually put you out of the bubble. So, did you have any? Did you have any plans while you were with the Moskoy for these 2 days? Did any of you want to come with us on a spearfishing expedition?
Yes.
I'd love to, but these are going to be a problem. Believe me, I know. We will miss having you. I've tried to swim with these, Darvin.
Oh,
Darvin, we were.
Well, no, I didn't realize you meant spearfishing actually down in. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's the best
Wow.
one.
He doesn't know what. Darvin doesn't know. He thought spearfishing. You know, he's seen the spearfishing he's actually witnessed has been above.
Well, yes, but one of the Moskoy is going, we are the Moskoy. We do some above, but not very good to do this time of year. It is winter, the seas are a bit... Did your people tend to spearfish from boat in wintertime? With the seas as rough as they get?
Fair.
Besides, you get a much better class of catch below.
We need to bring him along just for the just so he can see.
I'm more than happy to try to help. However, just tell me what to do.
All right. Anyone else? Alice is just... I think I'm gonna go high. You guys have never had a sky hunter before. Okay, I am really looking forward to seeing your catches then. How about the rest of you?
Guess I can help.
I don't know if underwater is really my thing.
Clarity's already had some experience with that.
I think I'm good up here.
I'll stay with Clarity. Yeah, I'm not. Swimming and I are not close.
Well, we could have our elder do what they did for your tiefling friend.
No, I'm okay. I appreciate the offer. I'm quite all right.
Well, it would just be another form of sea cow.
There's a lot of stuff over there. I'm not allowed to roll into it.
You would have tail of fish, you see.
I appreciate it, but I'll pass. Thank you, though.
Normally I would, but I'm kind of anxious to start going through this book.
Okay. Then looks at Ava.
I'm thinking maybe we should make sure if there's any supplies we might need for when we...
We have 2 days.
We have 2 days, and this is a new experience.
Why not, I guess.
Potentially watch me I was going to say fall on my ass, but they're not going to be in the water. You can't really fall underwater, so never mind.
Think.
You can
Like
still
a rock.
fall into the water.
Be careful about keeping track of which way is up.
Thank you.
We'll be staying fairly close to the sea bottom. Is more worry about the orcas.
Yeah, I haven't
Very
seen.
hostile Oreo whale things.
What is an Oreo?
I was gonna ask.
I think it was the label on one of the hold on. Reach in, pull out one of the Pop-Tart thing packages.
To be fair, you're thinking Oreos, and you do actually pull out a bag of the cookies.
These things.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And you've got all of the Moskoi just... They seem to be waiting for permission.
I'm just gonna crack it open. Anyone want one? Go nuts.
It's... Again, it's like piranha. It's like you go... the last syllable has just about left your mouth, and all of a sudden the bag is torn and empty. And you're lucky to still have fingers.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, so you get your fingers
Everyone
left?
froze on me. Did I lose internet?
No, you're still here.
You're here.
You're here.
Whether you can
I don't know
hear
if you can hear us.
us is another question. Somebody
Yeah, I
want
don't
to type
know
at
if
him?
it
Yeah, because he definitely can't hear us.
Be right
Yeah.
back.
And we lost a Smeagol. That.
All right, I'm losing everybody.
I think
Yeah.
Discord.
I had to reset my connection. I had to just drop call and reconnect because it.
Mine is the only one that's fine then. Because
Mine's
fine.
absolutely fine too.
Mine's good.
Everyone's back.
Mine's good.
okay, good. Because
Mine was fine.
yeah,
Mine was
I feel
kind
it's
of
gonna
choppy,
wobble.
but yeah.
mine's been fine. I mean, to be fair, decent internet is the one thing that we've still got in this fucking country.
I mean, I had been fine up until everything froze.
Mine just blipped and everybody refreshed, and that was about it. So
yeah, that was all
got
I
that
had as
too.
well. But
fist bump for good internet, I guess. It's the one thing I try to insist anywhere I'm at. So
I mean,
So
Especially-
having
so
provided Oreos,
yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Yes, you have provided
I
Oreos
also
and they have been eaten.
I also now
Devoured.
that that's clearly a topic of interest, I'm going to produce the Pop-Tarts and go looking for the toaster.
You have hovering people. You do not underestimate.
Going through
And you have Alice going, do not underestimate the appetites of the Moskoi. Especially for baked goods, they don't get things with flour around here very much. That's one thing they can't do in the bubbles.
Yeah, I noticed. That's why this is even more interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to go through what I was shown how to do with the toaster.
And yeah, since the Moskoi have got the idea, it's like they barely have they come halfway out of the toaster from the popping, and then they're gone. You don't see who took them. They're just gone.
damn, y'all move fast.
I'm going to see about how much. I'm going to see about going through half the supply of interesting ones.
Yeah, I mean, you have a 2-slice toaster, but every time it's we put them in and you don't see who took them. And Alice turns around to Darwin and goes, "They have to move that fast. Remember, they spearfish underwater."
I mean, I knew that intellectually, but now I'm seeing it.
It's pop food.
That's-
I'm just having a blast with this because I'm feeding people. I'm helping.
Ava, did you decide whether you're going with these guys or not?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Darwin hears that. He's like, "Yay, squeak!"
Okay, those of you who are going, make me athletics checks.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
Of course. I got a 13. That's respectable.
given for a first timer, remember my target's going to be a little high because you've never done this before. For Remy, I'm going to say that Alice's told her enough stories about the spearfishing that she knows what she's getting into.
Yeah, I'll run with it.
Yeah.
Remy's glad to show off.
Yeah, I mean, Remy does manage to take down this rather immense fish. Yeah, she's just the right. She knows just the right spot to spear it. This she does on her own, and she gets. I mean, you can't hear, and you don't know what the gestures say specifically, but you can tell that there's very much a congratulatory. We're going to dance your kill tonight kind of thing. Ava, Hazel, and Darvin do manage to catch something eventually, but compared to Remy's massive, we're talking about Pacific bluefin tuna here.
What, did she get a tuna or even bigger, a marlin or something?
She got a very big tuna.
Giga tuna.
Those. Damn! I've seen those in real life, and damn!
Yeah, you underestimate how big tuna are. Particularly this
huge normally.
Yeah, and so you guys come up, and it really is that sort of, some come up with little fish, and some come up with slightly bigger fish, and some come up with slightly bigger fish, and like two people have to haul Remy's kill up.
Something's like a table's worth of fish.
Whereas Alice comes back down with basically brace of fairly large seabirds.
Sort of reverse fishing.
Yeah, looks at Remy's kill and she has she knows the society and what is considered appropriate and not. So she knows nobody else gives a shit when she basically scoops Remy up and big smooch.
Yeah, Remy is happy to be swooped.
I'm gonna help cook all of this.
Darvin's just grinning because he's just happy he got something. He's just like, yeah. And
Yeah.
also just exceedingly proud of Remy.
Yeah, for something the size of yours, you caught it, you kill it, you eat it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to cook it.
Oh boy.
Ava and Darvin don't really know how to cook.
It's like, I'm just gonna look at him and go,
No, you cannot help them.
I'm not gonna help him. I'm just gonna say, if you watch me, try your best.
Nope, that's helping.
That's helping?
That's helping.
I'm getting out of the way.
I have no idea what I'm doing, and this is not going to end well, but I'll do it anyway.
I would like both of you to just roll me a d20.
Oh no, this is gonna be funny as hell.
Oh no.
18.
Darvin did actually pay attention because his house didn't have that much in the way of servants all the time. And, he had to hide in the kitchens of taverns sometimes when he mouthed off to the wrong person. So he actually produces a fairly credible baked fish. It's actually fairly well seasoned because he's watched Alice with the seasonings. Ava has not watched food being prepared ever.
Well, sort of not really paying attention to it because I'd have been in the kitchen now and then. But...
Well, that's the thing. When you went into kitchens, it was to filch snacks, not
Well, yeah.
watch what anybody was doing, and
Well,
you're not
exactly.
like Darvin, who's got his nose in everything. And since you've been out, you've been eating in taverns and haven't exactly been watching or listening to the amount Alice and Hazel have talked about cooking, because they have had conversations about this, but you haven't really listened because it's still somewhere in your mind. That's not what ladies do, which is why you end up with a burnt mess. And Alice kind of sidles up and going, "You want to sit in on lessons?"
Can't hurt, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you even if you do take up House Vanadar again at the end of this, at least you'll know. Knowing how it's done means you know who to hire. And
That's true.
And honestly, we don't know how long that's going to take, so you'll sit on lessons, and I will make sure you get some of the stew, because while this is supposed to be your dinner because you caught it, we're not going to force you to starve just because you don't know how to cook. That's not the way. And grabs and chucks it into what appears to be a compost heap for their bubble farms, and puts a plate of the fish stew from Remy's catch.
Thank you.
That's cool. Hazel doesn't have to roll because we know she can cook.
Yep, she's good at it.
I'm going to, given the opportunity, share some of this with Clarity. This stuff may be slightly maybe in that spice range that's for me, and thus the burning.
Yeah, Clarity's a bit better at the spicy, but Hazel and Alice are a bit beyond the pale even for Clarity. So it's tasty but a little uncomfortable for Clarity. But she can take it without having to roll a Constitution save, because she's a little better at spicy than some of the rest of these guys.
At some point, Darvin will go up to Alice, and would it be on bad form if I shared some of mine with Ava as well?
Yes, because you
I thought,
killed it, you eat it. And
Okay.
Clarity is one thing because she didn't go on the expedition, and that's just a bite. But Ava's got her meal, and that is yours. And since you cooked it well, you eat it. It's a thing. It is it's partly a bounty of the ocean thing as well. So it's understood and appreciated. But her watching everybody else eat the various bits of catches is supposed to encourage her to learn how to cook. That's the theory, anyway. I don't know. I only know the society. I don't make the rules. Besides, we're going to be having deep fried bits of seabird coming up next too. So
he just quietly sits back down and consumes.
You basically get sort of chicken goujons breaded in rice flour and deep fried. So it's just strips of indeterminate sea fowl.
I hadn't heard the term goujon, so that's why I was. What? Tell me.
It's like chicken dippers, but fancy.
Gotcha.
It's like
I gotcha.
It's like charcuterie boards can also be called Lunchables.
Right, I gotcha.
Oh Christ! I forgot about that video.
It's been a meme.
It's accurate.
So yeah, for the next couple of days is basically it's not so much the picking up supplies, because you guys are being supplied by the pack. So they get the supplies and you help them hunt. That's how that whole thing works. They don't do much in the way of healing potions anyway, so you wouldn't be able to track those down. Those few they have, they need to keep. So it's mostly checking on the supply situation, finding out there's not a whole lot to get, and as you like, join in on spearfishing, collecting bits from from the farm bubbles, watching Vord and the people trade with the Moskoy, and reading your various bits of book, and for Froseth in particular, finding out that he's got a lineage that goes back a very, very long way. And he may or may not have heard about it when he was growing up, if he'd had the opportunity to grow up with his family, but he'll probably never know. By the time you guys are back on the trail, which we'll cover next week because we're at about that time. By the time you guys are ready to leave, he's got as far as the Tiamat worshippers basically sitting on Equitas and the flight of various rhyme hooks west. Everything else seems to be screw tape letters kind of thing. Snippets. You haven't had the chance to read it, but it's snippets from old bard songs, letters copied in, because apparently they managed to smuggle some messages through, things that are a bit less directly reported from the rhyme hooks that went west, as well as what the few remaining rhyme hooks did at the ice maze after that. But you haven't got quite that far. What you do know is that Clan Rhyme Hook were predominantly, again, there were two, it was almost like two separate families, but very tightly knit. There were the ones who wanted to understand things, and they would tend to go out and adventure and bring things back and understand the way the world works, and come back and bring all that information that they just picked up along the way to their more book-bound, knowledge-focused family members who had a tendency to record it, and that's why that library in the ice maze was where it was. They basically bartered space from a bunch of Oriel worshippers and worked together to keep the place safe, which just about worked when the Tiamat worshippers and the Ancient Black came and sat on the place. They managed to hide behind the Oriel worship, and when the ice maze got buried, they didn't go digging through it because they didn't know what they had. The whole reason why it was preserved.
Mm.
But that's about as far as he's got before you're back on the trail, and we will cover the last couple of week or two, something along those lines, up to Demille and Demille itself when we see you again in 2 weeks' time.
Cool.
Have a good evening, guys.